Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the English teacher. Are you ready for today's lesson? Our today's topic is very interesting: subject, verb, and object. Let's go. There are 26 alphabets in English, and we all know. With the help of these alphabets, we try to make the words, and with the help of the words, we try to make sentences. అక్షరాలను ఉపయోగించి పదాల నుండి వాక్యాలను నిర్మిస్తాం. A complete sentence has three parts: subject అనగా కర్త, verb క్రియ, object కర్మ. కర్త, కర్మ, క్రియ తెలుగులో. వీటి గురించి వివరంగా తెలుసుకుందాం. Who is dancing? Seema is dancing. So who is the action doer here? Seema. So the action doer is the subject. పని చేస్తున్న వ్యక్తి ఎవరిక్కడ? సీమ. అందువలన సీమయే కర్త ఇక్కడ. A subject usually appears before the predicate only to show what the sentence is about or who is performing the action. A noun or a pronoun is used in place of a subject. Seema is dancing. Seema is the action doer, as we all have already identified. And so Seema is the subject. So what is the word Seema actually? Seema is the noun. నామవాచకం. Subject place లో నామవాచకాల్ని వాడతాం. Seema is dancing. She dances well. What is she in the second sentence? She is the subject of this sentence. She అనేది ఏ పార్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ స్పీచ్ లోకి వస్తుంది? నామవాచకానికి బదులుగా వాడేదాన్ని సర్వనామము అంటాం. సీమ, instead of Seema, we use she here. She is the pronoun. So in a subject place we can use a noun or a pronoun. కర్త ప్రదేశంలో మనం నామవాచకాన్ని గాని సర్వనామాన్ని గాని వాడవచ్చు. So depending on the usage of different types of words in the subject place, subjects are divided into three types. They are simple subject, compound subject, and noun phrase. So let us understand these three in detail. Look at the picture here. Who is playing the guitar? The frog. The frog is playing guitar. So what is the subject of the sentence? The frog. The frog, it is the noun. And here, as we are using only single word, it is called the simple subject. కర్త స్థానంలో ఒకే వ్యక్తిని గనుక మనం చూస్తే ఆ సబ్జెక్ట్ ని కర్తనే సింపుల్ సబ్జెక్ట్ అని అంటాము. Hope you have identified the famous heroes of the cartoon channel. Yes, the Tom and the Jerry. Who are good friends here? Tom and Jerry. Here we can see Tom and Jerry in the place of the subject. So we observe that there are two nouns, Tom and Jerry, and that is why this particular subject is called a compound subject. కర్త స్థానే ఒక కర్త కంటే ఎక్కువ కర్తలు కనిపిస్తే, అంటే ఇక్కడ టామ్ తో పాటుగా జెర్రీని కూడా మనం చూస్తున్నాం. ఇద్దరు, టూ నౌన్స్, రెండు నామవాచకాలు. సో ఇలాంటి సబ్జెక్ట్ ని, కర్తని కాంపౌండ్ సబ్జెక్ట్ అని అంటాము. Here is another picture for us. All the friends of Annie love chocolate. We see all the children there eating a chocolate. So, what is the subject of this sentence? Our concentration is on the subject. All the friends. Yes, very good. In this sentence, we see a group of words in the subject place. All the friends. అందువలన a group of words అంటే phrase అని మనకు తెలుసు. అందులో క్రియ గాని కర్త గాని కనపడడు. కానీ మనం ఈ group of words లో we are able to see a naming word, that is the noun. నామవాచకం ఉంది గనుక అందులో ఈ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ వర్డ్స్ ని మనం ఫ్రేజ్, నౌన్ ఫ్రేజ్ అని కూడా అంటాం. సో ద థర్డ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఈస్ ద నౌన్ ఫ్రేజ్, a phrase or a group of words containing a noun in it. So how many types of subjects are there? There are three types of subjects: simple subject with a single noun or pronoun, compound subject where we find two nouns or pronouns, and a noun phrase, a group of words containing a noun. Hope you understood. Read these sentences and try to understand more about the subject in each sentence. And the subject is given in italics in each sentence. Here is an exercise for you just to practice identifying the subjects. Try to make a note of all these sentences and try to identify what the subject of the sentence is. I have provided the answers for you also here in the next slide. Just check out your answers whether you are correct or wrong. I hope all of you have done all the sentences correctly. Now that we understand about the subject clearly, we should know that a complete sentence has a minimum three things. One is the subject, two the verb, and three an object. So now, with the understanding of the subject, let us go to learn about the verb. Verb means kriya. Without a verb, we cannot understand the action done by the subject. So, all verbs need a subject. Let us go into details. Just answer this question looking at the picture. What is the baby doing? Walking. So the action the baby is doing here is the verb. Verb is the action word denoting the action. It is the word linking the subject to the other part of the sentence. And it's very easy to identify the verb in a sentence. Just we need to ask few questions like this. What is the action happening in the sentence? What is the action? The action word is the verb. So we get the answer easily. To define the verb, it's a word or a set of words that shows action, feeling, or state of being. And I just would like to remind you that verbs always tells the time, that is the tense of the sentence. Here is walking. We can identify with the help of this verb that the sentence is in present tense. Let us talk about the subtopic tense in another video. Just to add information, I would like to tell that sentences can have more than one subject and more than one verb. Here I have provided you few examples. Just for an additional information, I want you to make a note of these sentences and the statement too. Till now, we had a good understanding of the subject and verb in a complete sentence. Now let us get into the details of an object in a sentence. Looking at the picture, let us answer this question. What is the baby eating? The cake. The baby is eating the cake. The person or thing that receives the action is the object. And to be more clear, the object of a sentence is the who or what that the subject does something to whom the action is being done. The object of a sentence is on whom the action is acted upon by the subject. ఇక్కడ బేబీ కేక్ ని తింటుంది. బేబీ దేనినైతే తింటుందో అది ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఇక్కడ అంటే కర్మ. సో ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ కర్మ ఇన్ తెలుగు. Objects are of two types. One is the direct object and the other is the indirect object. Let us look at these two examples. Jonathan bought a drink. What is the subject? Jonathan. What is the verb here? Bought. And what is the object here? A drink. In the second sentence too, he is the subject, was reading is the verb, and a story is the object. What is it that Jonathan bought? Jonathan bought a drink. And that is why this word a drink is called the direct object. Jonathan డ్రింక్ ని కొని తీసుకొచ్చాడు. ఏమి కొని తెచ్చాడు? డైరెక్ట్ గా సబ్జెక్ట్ దేనిని అయితే తీసుకొస్తున్నాడో దేని మీద పని చేస్తున్నాడో అది ఆబ్జెక్ట్. దానినే డైరెక్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అని మనం అంటాం. రెండవ ఉదాహరణ చూద్దాం. హీ వాజ్ రీడింగ్ ఏ స్టోరీ. వాట్ ఈస్ హీ రీడింగ్? ఆన్సరే డైరెక్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్, a story. We all know a subject means a noun or a pronoun. Just like that, even an object is a noun or a pronoun. Here we are talking about the direct object. So the direct object is the noun that receives the action of the verb, the receiver of the action. Let us carefully observe these two sentences. Jonathan bought a drink. Jonathan bought Catherine a drink. So Jonathan bought a drink is a complete sentence, and the additional information is he bought the drink for Catherine, and so Catherine becomes the indirect object. Jonathan bought a drink. Jonathan bought Catherine a drink. So even if Catherine is written here or not, without Catherine also there is a meaning in the sentence. Let us observe the second sentence. He was reading his daughter a story. అతను అతని కూతురికి ఒక కథ చదివి వినిపిస్తున్నాడు. అతను అతని కూతురికి కథ చదువుతున్నాడు. అతను కథ చదువుతున్నాడు అంటే సరిపోతుంది. కానీ అతను అతని కూతురికి ఒక కథ చదివి వినిపిస్తున్నాడు. సో కథ చదవడం అనేది ఫస్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్, కర్మ. ఎవరికి అనే తర్వాత సమస్య. కనుక ఎవరికి అనే దానికి వచ్చే జవాబు అతని కూతురికి అనేది ఇండైరెక్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటున్నాను. The noun that names the person or thing for whom or to whom The action of the verb is directed is called the indirect object. And in these two examples, we observe two words very clearly, Catherine and his daughter. These two words are the examples for indirect object. And observe that without the presence of a direct object, there is no indirect object. And an indirect object always precedes or comes before the direct object in any sentence. I have given you one more example to make the topic more clear. Example 1. They built a house. So what is the direct object here? A house. In example 2, they built a house for her. So what is the direct object here? Here too, a house is the direct object. Then what about her? Her seems to be the indirect object here. But in the previous slide, we have seen that indirect object precedes the direct object. But there may be exceptional cases like this. Hope it is clear. An indirect object is also a noun or a pronoun or a noun phrase that occurs in addition to a direct object after some verbs. It indicates the person or thing that receives what is being given or done. So you should be able to identify the direct object and the indirect object with this information very easily. Thanks for watching. And for more information about the subject, try to watch the previous video, the description given on the screen, subject and predicate.